Hey big cat, welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess lightworker, here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.
Namaste! Grand Rising air signs, welcome back to Big Cat Astrology, Big Cat Wave, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising. The planetary hot topics to add to your almanac over the next 7 days. On the 2nd of April, the last quarter moon in Capricorn. This lunation phase amplifies tension and challenges, particularly in family dynamics, personal well-being, work-related matters, interpersonal relationships, and public interactions. Somebody wants to all the smoke in public. Good golly and gosh. No tongue wrestling, big cat. From a distance, you can't see whom the chicken of the sea is. Exercise prudence in your actions and reactions. Apply caution and diplomacy to navigate any conflicts or hurdles. Utilize this period to declutter and organize your surroundings. On the 3rd, Venus in Pisces is in conjunction to Neptune in Pisces. This cosmic alignment inspires romantic daydreams, possibly leading to idealized perceptions of love and relationships. However, it's crucial to remain grounded and vigilant, as there's a risk of overlooking warning signs or engaging in secretive affairs fueled by unrealistic expectations. Make use of this time for creative pursuits and introspection through meditation to explore your imagination and emotions. On the 4th, the Sun in Aries sextiles the Moon in Aquarius. Under this harmonious aspect, you'll find yourself thinking and acting with clarity and reason rather than driven by emotions. You'll experience a sense of ease and confidence in various situations, bolstering both personal and professional relationships. Leverage the supportive energy from family and friends, as their assistance and guidance can prove invaluable during this phase. On the 5th, the Moon enters Pisces. Amidst the whirlwind of energies, consider taking a moment to nurture yourself and replenish your inner resources. Embrace moments of solitude and relaxation to reconnect with your deepest desires and intentions. On the 6th, Venus shifts to Aries. This transition brings a surge of passion and spontaneity and a yearning for novel experiences in matters of love and creativity. Whilst it may lead to exhilarating romantic encounters, it's important to exercise mindfulness and avoid rushing into relationships impulsively, bestie. Don't do it. Make sure you do the research. On the 7th, the Moon in Aries is conjunct to Venus in Aries. It's all going on in Aries, darling dears. It is. Spending quality time with loved ones and romantic partners can evoke feelings of joy and emotional renaissance. Embrace opportunities for shared experiences and heartfelt conversations to deepen bonds and fortify relationships. On the 8th, the new moon solar eclipse at 19 degrees and 22 minutes in, you guessed it, bestie, Aries. This potent cosmic event heralds a period of intensified energy and significant beginnings, particularly in matters of transformation, renewal and regeneration. With Mercury retrograde concurrently in Aries, focus may shift towards revisiting past ventures or seizing second chances rather than embarking on entirely new endeavors. Reflect on areas of your life where you seek growth and evolution, remaining receptive to transformative energies of the eclipse season. Please watch my 2 comprehensive videos on the new moon solar eclipse and Mercury retrograde in Aries for their effect on each sun, moon, and rising sign. Please stay tuned in for the tarot reading to follow. Big cow wave! Ha ha! Namaste! Grand Rising air signs, welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for messages for your next 7 days. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. Big cat wave. Let's dive in and unpack. Whoa, listen, whoever's gossiping about you, darling dears, it's off the chizayin. Someone or someone's wants all the smoke with you. You have the energy of what? An 8, darling dears. But let's see where the big cat is on the low shoe grid. You are on the 7. Okay, the 7 is represented by Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, as well as the westerly direction, darling dears. The number 7, according to Chinese numerology of the low shoe grid, it speaks about your joy, possibly even your progeny, darling dears. Maybe they're talking about your progeny. The energy of the 7, darling dears, is telling you to what? Trust in yourself. Listen to your intuition as well as your inner understanding. We've also the negative side to the 7, darling dears. It's about avoiding those that are closed minds, or you being closed minded about a situation. Why? 7 is the number of genius, darling dears. It's the number of being divinely inspired. Understanding certain things beyond what the eyes can see over the next 7 days. But somebody wants all that smoke with you, darling dears. Avoid it. Possibly what? Public confrontations. Good golly and gosh.
Power on. Power on.
Just making sure.
Bluetooth mode.
Is my microphone working? Yes, it is. Let's carry on, darling dears, at a hot trot. Right, bestie. So, bestie, drop down and get your eagle on. So you had number 7 on the grid and it goes to number 8 on the dice, darling dears. So 7 and 8 is what? 15. That's the energy of what? The devil card in tarot, darling dears. Manipulative, evil energy. This is codependent energy. It's also narcissistic energy, darling dears. A toxic relationship that you was in, or a situation that is toxic and beyond your control. People are what? Directing all of their anger and hatred towards you, darling dears. Someone doesn't like the fact that you are a hard worker. The energy of the 8 speaks about what? Skrilla.com, darling dears. That's money for those that don't understand. This read is going to be about the 8th house, darling dears. Other people's money, joint finances. It's about legacies, wills. But it's also the house of what? Debt and karma, darling dears. Somebody you gave a loan to. Or it could be for some an asset that was acquired which was not theirs. Good golly and gosh. Let's break this down. The energy of the 3 is what? Confusion, conflict, darling dears, tongue wrestling. Someone is extremely nervous about the energy of the 5. What's that? Some kind of secure foundation that you are creating for yourself, darling dears. They want to take you off your gangster. The number 8, according to the tarot cards, darling dears, is the strength card as well as the star card. It's a reminder. The strength card is a reminder for you to what? Avoid drama.com, as well as what? Understand that the healing that you need in a situation, you are going to have to bring it to yourself, darling dears. Leave people to what? Cast whatever aspersion they want. Why? It will say more about them than actually you, darling dears. Your birthday, or this could be a significant day or date or number in your life, darling dears, is the number 8, 17 or 26. The number 8 is associated with the letters H, Q and Z. The number 8 is ruled by Saturn, which rules Capricorn, as well as Aquarius energy. Over the next 7 days, my air sign, you are coming across as what? The CEO of manifestation. Your luckiest numbers over the next 7 days will be 2, 4, and 8. Your luckiest days are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The numbers for you to avoid are 3, 7, and 9. It also speaks about your fortitude, darling dear. Your inner strength is able to what? Allow you to overcome any situation. Many people are looking up to you, including what? Your haters, darling dears, the ones that want to take you off your gangster. Why? What? Tongue wrestling in public. I just told you, bestie. It also speaks about you being in your power or moving into a position of power, darling dears. And again, divine is reminding you to what? Handle the situation in a mature way, possibly an emotionally mature way over the next 7 days. Somebody's also in the research field. Yeah? Okay then. All right. It also speaks about some form of a struggle and delay, but the struggle and delay was for you to understand that you had snakes in your camp, darling dear, so that you can drop them off. Drop them off like a dirty shirt. Why? As I said, the energy of the 8 is karma. Maybe you are meant to be the karma for them in how you carry yourself and the fact that you are about to be blessed in their face over the next 7 days. The energy of the 8 again speaks of, as I said, speaks of power, and it speaks of materialism. So you are going to be what? Drawing something towards you and be able to what? Manifest something that you can touch, taste, and feel, darling dears. The 8th house is the house of karma, as well as Skrilla.com. Divine is cautioning you to what? Follow your own mind, darling dears. We had the energy of the 7, spiritually guided, darling dears, as well as the energy of the 8. It's telling you to go big or go home. Yeah, it's time for you to expand your limits. Don't be afraid to take a risk over the next 7 days. Why? You've been challenged and tested, but blessings are on their way. Divine wants to know if you've got what it takes to take this new leap of faith, because you are going to be put in a position of prosperity and as an authority figure. Love it. I don't hate it. I can't. 1, 2, 1, 2. My microphone sounds so funny. What's going on? Oh, okay. Now it's working. Listen, Mercury retrograde is acting on all of the mechanicals at this moment in time. Let's press on at a hot trot, but we'll get the energy of Saturn. Saturn is the planet of responsibilities, darling dears. It comes through with the rules and regulations. Saturn is also the father of time, darling dears. Nothing happens before its time. Just saw 444 on the counter. Number 1, you are being supported, darling dears, but your dreams and your ideas and your visions are being manifested even as we speak. So be careful of what you focus on, because where your focus goes, it grows. Focus on your greatness, darling dears, and continuing to sock it to them, Scott. You're saying who's them? They, them, and I'm, darling dears. The one that wants all the smoke with you. It could be merchants of slander, darling dears, bringing up old bones to try and bring you down, but they're speaking to the feeble-minded. The energy of Saturn comes through with what? The truth roof, pinkies up. On the energy of the 6, it speaks about teamwork and harmony as well as cooperation. If you're looking for some kind of a business contract or a deal, a loan, whatever it is, something that's going to put you in a position of authority, expect to get it this week, darling dears. Remember, I told you that. But be careful of what? Reading the fine print, because will be in the midst of Mercury retrograde in Aries, darling dears. Go and watch my comprehensive read on Mercury retrograde in Aries to find out how it's going to affect your sun, moon, and rising sign. I've also put out the read for the new moon solar eclipse in Aries on the 8th of April, darling dears, because the energy of the eclipse will last for 6 months. Okay, if not longer for some, darling dears. Remember, I told you that. Watch those reads so you understand how to use your particular gangster and kung fu over the next 6 months. Yeah, the truth roof, darling dears. You are the truth, and people don't like it. It's creeping up on them like a cheap lace thong. Okay, let's press on. I feel like we need to get the energies of the gossip mongers, right? Listen. Let me not start telling them off immediately. Look what fell off the back end. Envy, hate, and jealousy is what they're running with, darling dears. They don't like you, and they most of all hate your eyelashes. You're saying, but Case, why my eyelashes? Because they're attached to you, blood. Yes. Because you're about to boss up on these mitches and bitches. Remember, I told you that. You hold the energy of the 8. 8 is the number of what? Money. Skrilla.com, darling dears. It's also the house, the 8th house is the house of death and rebirth. So it tells me that you are a highly spiritual person, darling dears. You have occult knowledge. The occult knowledge could be of what? Numerology, your birth natal chart, astrology. Yes, baby, all of this and that. Why? Because your birth natal chart, darling dears, it's full of astrology. It's based on astrology, but it shows how your life will be mapped out, how your life is going to go, your relationships, everything is there. But you have to be willing to what? Break it down, baby, and understand what's been written for you, darling dears, because it's already been written. Base of the deck. Forgive and keep it pushing, darling dears. We have to forgive as big cats. Why? Because if you don't, it's like you taking the poison and waiting for them to die. It never happened. It will never happen. Right? Forgive them and keep it pushing. I know it may take a little while for you to get to that forgiveness, especially if you realize the level of envy, jealousy, and hate that's been directed at you, darling dears. No one's checking for them blood. No one cares. Yeah. That's why the empty boxes always make the most noise. Remember I told you that. These merchants of slander. Jeremiah 9:40. Let's press on. I'm going to get a deck. Okay, I'm going to use the light seer deck. Base of your deck, darling dears. King of Swords. It also speaks about keeping your own counsel. Or you may be seeking a legal assistance, in the sense of calling the popo, a solicitor, or you may be in the legal field, or you're going for your legal books. Nothing like the Black's Law Dictionary to sort out a thing or two. Sort out what is lawful and what is legalities, darling dears. Okay. How is your money and finances? Your money, finances, and work. Money and finances is the same thing, darling dears. Right. How is it shaping up for the air signs over the next 7 days? Somebody's moving on from a situation. We've got another 8 on the table. When we see 88, darling dears, it's about you're going to be presented with opportunities to make money and make an impact in the present. You just have to stay focused on what's important to you. Good golly and gosh, you're walking away. As far as your finances is concerned, darling dears, as I said, you're going to be presented with opportunities to make new money, but you're leaving from a situation where there is betrayal and heartbreak. Yep. Queen of Cups is somebody who's jealous, darling dears. Could be feminine energy. Maybe it's somebody that you work with, or somebody's in your work, darling dears. Jealous and envious of what you are about to create for yourself. Why? Didn't you just see it? Knight of Pentacles jumped right out, darling dears. It's been a long time coming. You've done the due diligence, but divine is telling you to what? Stay focused and stay on the path, darling dears. Don't look back. Remember Salt Bay, Lot's wife, darling dears. Things are all falling into place. It may look crazy at this moment in time, but you have to remember everything is a part of divine's plan as well as timing. But you also had the energy of the 7. It's about you going within, darling dears. Why? Because all answers come from within. All right. What about my single air signs over the next 7 days? What's going on with them? My single air signs. Good golly and gosh, you've got a jealous one, darling. There's a high commander Decepticon, could be male or female. When we see the King of Wands, this person is, they're not in tune to their intuition or their higher knowledge. This is someone that is, how can I put it? A predator. Yeah, a dig-dealing mattress back. Yes, yes, yes. All of the above. Someone who is a seller of their sex and their looks, darling. There's someone who relies on those things in order to what? Create a soul tie and bring what? A future with no hairline, darling dears, in your future. Okay. The King of Wands on his face, darling dears. It also speaks about someone who is a bully, somebody who's going to create some kind of, they've got a sex problem, darling dears. Maybe they can't get it up, or they come with what? A full-on STD, darling dears. Yeah, a spiritually transmitted disease. This person is extremely weak and not ready for someone like you. And when you get with someone who is not on your intellectual level, bestie, trust and believe they will punish you. They will punish you with either their fists, their words, or their actions when they know that you are above them intellectually. And right about now, air sign, you win the prize. You've graduated cum laude in the common sense and logic department. You're an air sign, darling dears. After all, somebody with nefarious intent wants to come towards you. Okay. Look what he's got on his chest. It's a salamander, darling dears. Salamander just does also represent the fire energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yeah. 10 of Cups. Somebody wants to go into union with you, darling dears. They're going to be coming through telling you all of this shiznai. But look, we have the Knight of Wands on its forehead, darling dears. You better nip that shiznai in the bud, darling dears. Don't let them have access to you. This person is extremely chaotic. They will try and force the sex on you quickly, darling dears. They're full of impulsivity, darling dears. Yes. And they will be what? You'll be stuck with them, darling dears. You won't be able to get rid of them. They'll be like a fart lingering. Tell me some more about this King of Wands energy that you must avoid. Listen, air sign, Ace of Swords. It's about you what? Using your knowledge and your intellect. This person is a Jezebel spirit. And there's many in the background. Remember I told you that. We've got the energy of what? 5 stars. The energy of 5 is conflict and confusion, darling dears. But you have to remember, this person will create a major change in your life. Not one to your liking. So you've been forewarned. So forearmed. Look, they come through as the Knight of Cups, darling dears. As a full-on distraction. Listen, you may want to hoodwink yourself into going into a clandestine affair because they're telling you all of this. They're telling you, don't believe the hype. Hey, don't believe the hype. It's the devil's most diligent worker. Right. What about my air signs that are in a relationship or partnership? How does it fare for them over the next 7 days? Did I just see a card spin? I did, but the card did a full spin. It did a 360, darling dears. Okay, this one fell off the back. This is clear thinking. Somebody's no longer trapped in their mind. Maybe you've been going through a lot of ruminating thoughts, and it's on the energy of the 8. We've seen clear. We've got 8 again, darling dears, on the tablet, and again, you're about to what? Have new opportunities presented to you. You're thinking clearly at this moment. Look, 10 of Cups. Well, if you're in a relationship or a partnership, it's a happy home at this moment in time. When we see this 8 of Swords in reverse, it also speaks about what communication is flowing, right? Somebody may be offered a ring, darling dears, because the Ace of Pentacles is the ring-bearing card, or it's a new opportunity that is going to benefit the whole family environment, whether you have progeny or not. It's looking good, darling dears. Knight of Swords on its forehead, darling dears. Lean in, bestie. Lean in. But somebody doesn't approve of your union. This person is extremely violent, and they are being deliberate with their cruelty. Their words, darling dears, their words. They're trying to use their words on you. Okay. And what you guys got going on? Why? Because it's based on what? Envy, jealousy, and hate. Look, the devil is not welcome on its face. Didn't we just call out the devil energy at the top of the read with the 7 and the 8 going to the 15? Base of the deck, 7 of Wands. It speaks about your spiritual protection, but it also speaks about being on your guard. It's somebody that you've invited into your environment, darling dears. They're not wishing you well. Be careful of them leaving anything in your house to try and destabilize your relationship over the next 7 days. I'm hearing what? An in pronto visit, darling dears. Yeah, because somebody wants to block your future vision because they're envious, jealous, and hate, right? They're coming to leave something in your domicile, darling dears, or send you something that is going to what? Put a rift between the two of your situations. Yes, make you start looking at your partner with those shady eyes, darling dears. When not no go so, that's Jamaican speak for that's not what's going on. All right, let's get some final messages. And then we're out of here to get great. Oh, that's a lot of cards. It's a lot of cards, but that one fell off and this is on top. Cut the cords, darling dear. Some of you will be cord cutting. Maybe you need some assistance. Please hit me up in the Gmail. I do have a cord cutting ritual that you can perform. Yes, you can, darling dears, but it has to be done around a new moon. We have a new moon coming up on the 8th of April, and if you need my assistance, hit me up in the Gmail, darling dears. No spell work is involved. All right. I can't control you anymore, and I hate you for that. Your energy is irreplaceable. Listen, it's all popping off in the mud huts, darling dears, because you're not allowing yourself to be hoovered. That's a message for someone. Base of the deck, Dare we turn it over? Yes, baby. Make sure you are perpetrating all of this. Self-care, self-love, and self-worth. Put yourself first, darling dears, in every situation. Pardon me, that was a spiritual belch because I speaks the truth. Roof. Pinkies up. On that notes, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks where I also upload videos. Thank you very much for your continued support of me and this channel. Your likes, your subscribes, your shares, your bookings, your donations, all of this and that, darling dears. And most importantly, your messages. Why? Because they're a survival kit for another big cat. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Big cat wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat. Cat, cat.
Hey, big cat, welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess lightworker, here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.